Hi guys, this is Chet Donath from Donath Outdoors. Today I want to make a quick video of how you would go about whitening a skull. If you've harvested an animal or you just found a skull in the woods and it's not quite as white as you want it to be, I have a really good way to get it a little bit whiter. Now there's a lot of different ways you can do this. A lot of people will actually paint their skulls. I think it looks a little bit unnatural. Myself, it's almost too white. And then you run into the problem where in these small areas, in these nasal cavities and whatnot, sometimes the paint will get in there and it'll make like a bubble, or it'll kind of coat the surface and it'll take away from the detail of the skull. So to keep that detail and to keep it a natural skull, I like to use, this is basically a high percentage hydrogen peroxide. Cosmetologists use this for whitening hair. I will mix it with this powder. It's a whitening powder. And I'm not a cosmetologist. I don't know how this all works, but I believe it's how cosmetologists will whiten people's hair. And it works really good on skulls. So if you can get this, it's great. I know I've heard of a lot of people having trouble getting this because you can't buy it just anywhere. Anybody can walk in and buy this at any kind of like commercial place that sells chemicals for and towards cosmetologists. You can get this anywhere. Just get the highest percentage that you can. The higher the percentage of hydrogen peroxide, the longer you're gonna have to put it on the skull. Now as far as safety when you're doing this, guys, I really highly recommend you wear a mask. I believe it says on the directions to wear a mask, and I would definitely recommend that you do. It does have a chemical vapor smell that comes from it. I know a lot of pregnant women who are cosmetologists, when they mess with, or they're not supposed to mess with this stuff. So if they're not supposed to mess with it at all, I would highly recommend that if you are pregnant, don't mess with it. And if you aren't pregnant, then you wear a mask. Also, when you're working with this stuff, you definitely want to wear gloves. It will eat away at your hands. While I said earlier, there's a lot of different methods that you can do to whiten a skull. One method that I definitely will not recommend, and you don't do it, is a lot of people will say that when they're gonna bleach the skull, well hopefully they don't actually mean they're gonna put bleach on the skull. Don't use bleach on your skulls. It will corrode the skull. It will break down and make it brittle. It's not good for skulls. Do not use bleach. Alright, so as far as mixing this, I will usually do about 1 part hydrogen peroxide to about 2 parts of the powder. I want it to be the consistency of toothpaste. I'm just gonna put my gloves on here, and I'm gonna film most of this after I'm done talking because I'm gonna have a mask on and it might be hard to hear. So I just use a soup can, something like that to mix in. As you can see, I've already used this before. Putting it on with, you can just use any old paintbrush, will work fine. If you want one that's smaller, you can work into the nasal cavities and then you can have a bigger one to do most of it. But it really doesn't matter, whatever you feel comfortable painting with. Now as far as the antlers, you don't want to get them on the antlers if you can. If you get a little bit, it's not really that big of a deal. You just take a wet rag and just wash that off. You don't want it to sit on there because that's what will actually start to whiten it, is when it sits on it over time, it'll start to whiten it. And so if you just wash that off the antlers, if you have an animal that has antlers on it and that you're whitening, make sure you wash that off and don't leave it on there. Otherwise, get this on your clothes, it will whiten your clothes. Alright guys, so I think I have the warnings out of the way. I'm gonna don my mask here and start mixing. You don't have to be exact on these measurements, but like I said, about the consistency of toothpaste. I usually fill this about 1/3 of the way up, and then 2 scoops of powder. And I'll move this off of my workspace. Here is the labels for a close-up if you need to write that down. And here is the other one. This is the powder. Alright guys, we just mix that up as good as we can in there. Once you're happy with that, I usually start, if it does have antlers, I'll usually start around the antlers. Put it on as thick as you possibly can. The reason you want it as thick as toothpaste is because, see, mine isn't quite thick enough. I got some drippage going on. If you make it a little bit thicker, but you don't want it too liquidy. It will drip down like this or worse, and it'll eventually drip off the skull. I'm actually going to add some more powder. This is gonna sit for 24 hours or more. And so what will happen is over time, that will, if it's liquidy, too liquidy, it will fall off the skull. All right, I'll mix that up a little better. So as far as the time, once you get this painted, as far as the time, I'll usually start off at 24 hours. At 24 hours, I'll usually wash it off I'll see how white it is. I'll go ahead and go like 2 or 3 days before I'll wash it again, then let it completely dry. You won't get a good feel for how white it is unless you let it completely dry. And once it's completely dried, then you can judge if it's white enough. If it's not white enough still, reapply, do the same thing over until you get it to the whitening amount that you want. Some people don't like it pure white as snow. Some people like it to look a lot more natural, like maybe something that you found in the woods. And if that's the case, that's all right. Put it in there a day, see how you like it. If you want to go whiter, you can always go whiter. If you go too white, it's really hard to bring it back. So that's why I recommend doing a day, wash it off, let it dry, see how you like it, and then go from there. Another thing you can do is you can leave this out in the sun, but I have dogs. A lot of you might have dogs. There's neighborhood dogs that could take it and run off with it, drag it around, you know, what have you. So if you do put it outside, make sure that it's up high enough and that nothing can get to it. I'm just too scared, like with clients, like if I have somebody who's paying me to whiten their skull, I'm not gonna put it outside because it's just too much of a risk. That's their trophy, and I just cannot risk having a dog or something drag it off. But you can do that and it will help with the whitening process. You're gonna coat this entire skull in this stuff, and I'm not gonna bore you with keeping all of this in on the recording, but you get the idea. You wanna coat it real thick, and you wanna get every single orifice. By the way, if you guys have not gotten your skulls to this point yet, and you've got meat on it, I have a really good video that I've tried my best to go over all kinds of different methods and the pros and the cons of each method. And if you want, I can put that, I'll put it up here, and you can click on that and you can go back if you are not to this point yet and you need to figure out how to get it to a skull. Alright guys, so after a few days, it should look something like this. Nice, clean white skull. This was, I think, 2 days worth. I think the same with this one. It was 2 days with the solution on it. This one was about a little bit more than a day, about 36 hours for this one. There's still some yellowing and stuff, and I might hit this one up again. The thing about it, guys, is that, you know, every skull is kind of different. To be honest, I can't tell you why it takes some skulls a lot longer to whiten, but it certainly does. But like I was saying before earlier in the video, if you don't think it's white enough, you can always just do it for longer. Just put another coat on it and leave it for another day or two. It won't hurt it at all. You just get it to the point in which you like it and the whiteness that you like. I'm pretty satisfied with this one and the one down below. I think I'm going to hit this one again, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how the results. This has worked for me for many years. I haven't found a better way to do it yet. And guys, if this video has helped you out at all, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button, and please consider subscribing. And until next time, this has been Chet Donoth with Donoth Outdoors. Happy hunting.